scary. You open the door, little Fifi or Fido runs out, bolts outside into the street.
That's scary.
It is a situation that happens all too often, and that can lead to tragedy. So today, pet rescue expert Larissa and animal behaviorist Kyle Kittleson are here. They're going to teach us how to train our dogs to be street smarts.
Smart, I love
street
that.
smart.
And Buddy's.
Yeah, Buddy's all
Very excited.
he's taught. You see this all too often, yes, Kyle?
Yeah, if you haven't personally been affected by it, then you know somebody who has. We think our dogs are safe just because they're on a leash, but when somebody else walks them or the dog walker gets them or they just slip out of their collar, they dart right into that road and it's incredibly dangerous. 1.2 million dogs every year are affected by this.
Wow.
1.2 million dogs are hit by cars every year?
Every single year.
Oh my God.
And if they aren't able to make it, then they still have the cost of vet bills or they have a lifelong illness. But luckily, there is a very easy way to keep your dog from darting out into the street in just 3 easy steps.
Yeah, and Larissa, you say that rescue dogs are in particular susceptible to this.
Yes, and I do just want to mention before I get into that the dog that we just showed in the video is Kyle's dog, and she is doing okay. She was not hit by the car, and that was all done in a very safe situation
She's an actor.
scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just want to let everybody know, all dogs, no dogs were harmed in that.
Okay.
And yes, rescue dogs are really susceptible because, especially newly rescued dogs, they can be very confused. This is a whole new surrounding, all new people. So oftentimes they dart when that door opens, or they're trying to get back to where they came from. Again, they don't think like we do. So to them, they're like, where's my mom? Where's my home? Where am I? So it's very important that all parents, if they are bringing a new rescue dog into their home, learn these things and do them right away, whether it's a puppy or an adult dog.
Yeah, sometimes they see something outside, another dog.
Oh yeah.
All right, the 1, 2, 3s of getting this right, Kyle. How do we?
Well, it's really easy. The first step of the 3-step system is to just show your dog where it is safe and okay to be.
Okay.
So that just means taking Buddy out here, for example, and just showing him, hey, we're out on a sidewalk. That looks like a good spot. Hey, you decided to sit. Great. Here's a little treat.
Oh, I see.
We can ask them for behaviors. I'm going to make it really fun. Do a little twirl. That was no charge right there. You can feed that dog just for hanging out with you.
Reward them.
Yeah. Now, when we go out in the street, I just don't make a big deal. I just redirect him back to that grass. And when he's finally in the grass, acting cool, and allows me to go out into the street, then I come back and give him that reward to let him know all good things happen outside of the street. Now, I dropped that leash. He walked right out into the street. That's okay. I'm going to redirect him again. I don't make it a big deal. We're not using any punishment. We're just letting him know that when he does allow me to go back and bring him something that if he stays out of the street, then he gets that reward. He loves that bone. He loves it. Now watch this. Through the bone, he looked at it, and then he looked right back at me one more time. I throw the bone out there. He lets me go and get it. I bring it back, and then he gets that bone for staying where he's put it. I can tell you from my experience, my dog Callie, you can throw a steak. You can throw a treat, a ball, a stick, anything. She'll just look at you like this. Like, I can't go out that route.
Oh, that's
not allowed. Yeah.
So, but what if you actually need the dog to walk in the street with you?
Yes.
How do you
Well,
make that happen?
Occasionally that happens.
Right.
You can't cross the street.
So that is the third step, and I train a very basic hand command, which just means follow me. So once I step out into the street, and obviously Buddy isn't fully trained yet, but I step out in the street and he decides not to follow me, I just go ahead and reward him. And then when we're timed, there we go, I just give him that little hand gesture. And the big point here, guys, is don't make it a big deal. Okay. Don't reward your dog for now going into the street.
Buddy's mom is over there. But that's good. That's why this is a good test.
Yeah.
So the big reward is actually getting to go out into the street.
Sure.
You don't have
They'll
to
be
reward them.
confused if you're rewarding them while they're standing in the street.
You got it. You got it.
Okay, so let's talk about, Larissa, let's talk about dog walkers, because even when you have a nanny helping out, you want to make sure they follow the kid with your kids.
Or then they're on
you got a
schedule.
dog, you got a dog walker, you're trying to teach them.
Yeah, it's very important. If you're going out on vacation or you have a late night at work and so you have a dog walker come over, everybody who walks your dog needs to follow these same rules. Consistency is key, and I'm sure that is your mantra as well, because pet parent knows. The minute you train your dog and then someone else comes over and does something totally different,
It's all
Yeah.
thrown out
that
the
dog
window.
And
forget.
then it's
I
regression,
know.
and they go right back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
there
it's a
they
very,
were.
and even if it's not a dog walker, even if it's yourself, every so often go over those steps again because you really want to make sure they're reinforced. That doesn't happen in the 3 minutes you just saw on TV. It takes some time.
Right.
Clearly, Betty still needs some work, but we're
Yeah,
going to
but
get
we
there.
have to be honest, we learned pretty quickly. This just happened this morning, and I'm super impressed with what you've already done with it.
Yeah.
So you say these same 3 simple steps actually could help you in a lot of different areas in your life, and help some other pesky behaviors that dogs may have.
Absolutely. Most people will see results in a few seconds, and that is actually true. If this isn't fully trained in 5 days, you're doing something wrong, and that's
Oh,
just
right.
5 to 10 minutes a day in 5 days in a row. I have trained Callie not to go into my closet because she sheds a lot. So
By doing this.
By doing this, yeah. So there's a lot of practical uses for this.
Yeah.
And if I could say one other thing, if you notice, you up the ante all the time.
Okay.
You know, make it so it's so irresistible for them to jump into the street, but then don't let them. And that's how you really get them trained.
You know, this is good because Fred won't go into the nursery. He won't do that.
Oh.
He just- but I don't know if he's why he just knows not to go.
Well, he's like the babysitter. He stands up front. He's a bouncer.
He's the guard. He keeps walking back and forth. More information.